How are you enjoying the expo so far?
It's been a lot of fun. I've had a few different friends helping me run my booth, which I don't know where they are now, but...
So we're here in the Artist Alley with Josh Soren. How you doing, Josh?
Good.
So is this the first year that you have set up shop here in Artist Alley?
That is correct.
Awesome, and how's it going?
Not bad. I mean, I erred on the side of having more material than I needed, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Made a few potential professional contacts and sold some posters, sold some issues.
It's a good networking opportunity.
Yeah.
For emerging local artists. So you have a comic here. What's the name of your comic?
This is the spectacular Shenanigans of Mr. Pachoka and Earl. It is a whimsical tale of malarkey and gunfights and car chases.
I see, and these two characters, what's the inspiration for this comic for you?
It's not as exciting as all that. I think it was art class actually back in Grand Prairie. I made a sculpture of a small humanoid figure that had an eyeball for a head, and I think the girl that was sitting next to me, I was like, well, what should I call this little guy? And she made a noise that sounded kind of like Pachoka. So...
And it stuck.
Yeah.
Maybe you should give her some royalties.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and putting, like, making the apostrophe, like, I went to get my copyright, and they mistook it for an accent over an E.
Oh.
So my initial copyright certificate says Mr. Pehoka. So
I like that too. If you ever have to change it.
I got it changed though. It's grown on me.
So what kind of adventures do these two folks get into?
Well, the Earl and Pachoka are part of a kind of ragtag resistance group that are fighting the evil, indomitable Smurs Industries, which is slowly taking over the world and destroying it. So it's kind of a fun, like, nature versus, like, urban setting where, like, the forest is literally, like, trying to, like, retake the city, which is, like, the main set piece for the story.
Do they have any superpowers?
Well, I don't want to comment too much on that, potentially, but we'll say they have a few tricks up their sleeves.
Well, and what are the other things you have selling here?
These three posters are characters from David Peterson's Mouse Guard, which is a really fantastic graphic novel. It's a great read. I highly recommend it.
So you did your own rendition of the characters from...
Yeah, so it's the main three characters, Saxon, Kenzie, and Liam. So I have Saxon, who's a bit more brash and reckless, running in fighting a scorpion. Kenzie, who's a bit more thoughtful and methodical, fighting a swarm of bullet ants, which are so named because getting bit by one feels like being shot. And Liam, standing his ground against a American rhinoceros beetle.
Have you had a lot of people recognize this character?
I actually had a couple today and yesterday. There was like, oh, it's Mouse Guard. And then this is Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman riding a majestic narwhal. My friend Kim asked me to draw that, like, very specifically, those two riding a narwhal. I did them up in their kind of the way they look in the show Sherlock.
And do you take commissions like that a lot?
I do not. Well, I mean for friends, but I'm terrible at caricature for the most part.
Yeah.
Like the fact that these look even remotely like the people that they are is kind of a fluke.
Have you had any opportunity to do any wandering yourself?
I haven't. I've been having such a blast just, like, you know, running the table and chatting people up when they come by.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And did you get to do any other photo ops or anything like that?
I did the photo op with Eliza Dushku because a friend of mine was in line for that already and offered. I'm like, oh, I'll sneak over there for a bit.
Oh, that's nice. And lastly, what's your favorite part of Expo?
Well, my favorite part of the Expo is actually getting to, you know, go around and see the Expo. I love, like, when I do attend the Expo, I love actually just going through Artist Alley and just chatting up some of the different creators and people. Like, it's just a really great energy at the Expos, and so it's basically the same thing. I'm just on the other side of the table now.
Yeah. And do you have a website?
I don't have a website, but I have a Facebook page, Joshua Soren.
Joshua Soren, okay.
Has updates for everything that I'm up to on this.
Well, thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
Did you dress up last year?
I'm Batman.
And what did you dress up as?
I'm Batman.
Oh, cool. Okay.
You know, he started this and he's not going to stop now.
Okay, I'm okay
thanks
with
for
it.
that.
I understand that you're selling these comics at a couple places in town.
Yep. So I'm at Happy Harbor Comics in Edmonton, which is downtown by Grant Mac, and Variant Edition, which is a new store just opened up this summer.
Cool.
So I'm trying to send a lot of business their way. It's a great little store.
Yeah.
And they're located 123rd Street and 105th, so just kind of west end of downtown.
Awesome.
And then Wonderland Toy and Hobby is a toy store in Grand Prairie. The new comic shop they opened up in the basement called Underland also carries my comic now,
Nice.
and Alpha Comics in Calgary.
Cool.